After the decoders, we come to the multiplexer. So what is the multiplexer? So it is a particular circuit which allows a particular data line to pass to the output depending on the selection input. So this, reading this line, we must understand that we are having a lot of different things here. One is data line. So particular data line means there are several data lines and it allows a particular data line to pass to the output. So there is an output depending on the selection input. So there are selection inputs. So there are three different types of pins in this particular multiplexer block. So there would be, so if this is a block of multiplexer, there will be these input pins, there will be this output pin, there will be these data pins or data lines. So all these three together form the multiplexer. This data will have several lines. How many lines will the data have? It will have 2 to the power of n number of lines when n number of selection inputs are available. If we have n number of selection inputs, so varying the binary code, we can have 2 to the power of n different decimal numbers, and hence 2 to the power of n number of data lines can be selected. One of these can be selected. One of the 2 to the power of n number of data lines can be selected, and that can be passed to the output. So it is like a switch, it is like a multi-pole switch. The multiplexer is like a multi-pole switch. So from the output, it's as if from the output there is a switch waiting to be connected. So it can connect to any of these input points, and it is shifted. So it is so that switch is getting operated by these input pins. Whatever is the combination here, in that manner this switch is getting operated. So you can visualize the multiplexer in this manner. So you see, if the selection input is 0 0, data line 0 is passed to the output. If selection pin is 0 1, data line 1 is passed, and so on. So you see, according to this description, the truth table is like this. So the selection inputs are S1, S2, A1 to A0 are the like A3 to A0 are the data lines, Q is the output. So one of these data lines is passed to the output depending on the selection input. So when the selection input is 0 0, A0 is going to be passed. So if A0 is 1, Q is going to be 1 no matter what A1 to A3 is. So these are all X. No matter what A1 to A3 are, I am going to replicate A0 at the output. Similarly for 0 1, 1 0 and 1 1, you can see for 1 0, A2 is coming to the output. Now you can ask, what about those when A0 will be 0? You can write that row. There is no problem in writing that row. But here we are writing only those rows for which we will take the min terms. That's why we are avoiding those rows which are giving you output as 0. We can avoid that. So we are only writing those rows which are giving output as 1, because we want to write a SOP expression. If you said no, I want to write a POS expression, then it's fine. You write the rows which are giving you 0 output. Then you form the POS expression. So this is the SOP expression, and the SOP expression will be like this. Simply collection of the min terms. simply collection of the minterms which are required. You see S1 S2. So for the first one here, this one A0 S1 dashed S2 dashed. Here I have written S1 S2 and here I have written S1 S0. So there is a slight mistake. So you can this would be S0 actually. This would be S0. S1 S0. Then the next one, it would be A1 S1 dashed S0 plus A2 S1 S0 dashed. So in this way your output equation will be formed. So you can make the circuit. So this circuit is a circuit of the mux. Very simple circuit, and that forms your mux multiplexer. And this one is an example of the multiplexer which is called 4x1 multiplexer actually, or 2x1, I don't really remember. 2x1, yeah, 4x1 multiplexer. So this one is called a 4x1 multiplexer. The number of data channels you have and output is always 1. 4x1 multiplexer. And from this number 4, you would be able to know what would be the number of the selection inputs, because this 4 is 2 to the power of n, where n is the number of selection inputs. So you know that n is 2 in this case. And this is how we represent the block diagram of the mux. Okay. Next, in the same manner, you can also have a 8x1 mux. The operation will be same. You can draw up the truth table. Very simple to write down the truth table of the 8x1 mux. But your expression would be a longer one. Q, so many 8 number of minterms will be there in the SOP expression, and you have to make that circuit. Instead of doing that circuit again and again, I can use smaller blocks or smaller muxes in order to make a larger mux. And this is one of the ways to do it, using two 4x1 muxes to form one 8x1 mux. This is the arrangement. And we use an additional OR gate. Let us read the circuit and verify ourselves how this is happening. So you see your A, so this is the selection pins S1 and S0, and the selection input is ABC. The data is X0, X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, X6, X7. Okay. So ABC, when you have A as 0, there are these 4 options when you have A as 0, and there are these 4 options when you have A as 1. And BC is kind of repeating itself. So when A is 0, you notice that your first mux is activated and the second mux is not activated. Hence, only possibility is to pass X0 to X3 depending on what your BC is. X4 to X7 will never be passed because this is not even activated. Depending on now on BC, if BC is 0 0, this A0 is getting connected to Q, so your X0 is passing to Q. If BC is 0 1, your X1 is passing to Q, BC is 1 0, X2 is passing to Q, and BC is 1 1, X3 is passing to Q. And this output is connected through a OR gate. So basically this output is passing to Y, and here nothing is here because it is not activated. Now when A becomes 1, things get completely opposite. This is not activated anymore, this is becoming activated, and we don't have a 0 here, we have a 0 here. and this output is getting at y because of the OR gate. And what is coming at this output? These datas, one of these datas, depending on BC being 0 0, this x4 will come, and BC being 0 0, you see, you read ABC, this is 4, so x4 is going to come. When BC is 0 1, x5 is going to come. BC is 1 0, x6 is going to come. BC is 1 1, x7 is going to come. So I hope you understand how this circuit is behaving like a 8x1 multiplexer. Now the 8x1 multiplexer can be implemented without even without any additional gates. How? By like this. But now you have to use an additional 4x1 mux itself. You may also had used a 2x1 mux. I will leave you to think about it, how you could have used a 2x1 mux. We have not actually studied the 2x1 mux. You can study it for yourself. You have looked at the 4x1 mux. 2x1 mux is also similar. It has only one select input and two data lines, one output. So you can build up its block diagram, its output expression, its truth table, everything you can make for yourself. So this 4x1 at the output can also be replaced by a 2x1 mux. So if you understand how the 2x1 mux behaves, you will come to understand this. So now, however, I am using 4x1 muxes here. So you see what happens here. Your A input is connected as the select input here, and S1 here is connected to ground. That means this has only two possibilities, 0 0 and 0 1. So when A is 0, then when A is 0, this A0 is getting connected to Q, and this line is the output of this particular mux. So this is getting activated, and hence again, according to BC, some of these inputs are coming. So when 0 0 0, A is 0, BC is 0, X0 is coming here, and then coming here, then coming here at the output. Similarly for all the others. Now when A becomes 1, then A0 will not pass, then situation gets reversed, or situation gets different. A1 is passing, and A1 is connected to this mux, so this mux now become activated, this becomes inactivated, and one of these input data lines is going to pass through. So for 1 0 0, 1 0 0 means 4 is going to pass through, because 0 0 is here, BC is getting 0 0. So this is getting connected when BC is 0 0, and result is what? X4 is going to Y, because that is what we need. 1 0 0 is 4, so we needed X4 to go to output. Similarly, you can read for other data lines. So I hope this is clear about the multiplexer. Now I will also introduce this. Using muxes, you can implement any logic gate also. So if you have the mux with you, mux is also made as basic building blocks. Logic gates, any logic gates you can also implement using mux. How we are doing that? This is the AND gate using a 2x1 mux. So here you see that when you have your inputs have to be supplied like this, your x is here and your y is here, xy. So when x is 0, you should have this is 0, so at the input I0 is coming to the output, right? So you read the truth table. When x is 0, you must have the output also 0, so you supply 0 directly. So for both these combinations, your output is going to be 0. For these two combinations, when x is 1, you notice that your function, your f is the output. You can call this the function. So this AND function is basically same as the y. So you can pass the y directly to the output, right? F is equals to y. So then you get a AND gate. Similarly, you look at the OR gate. First you look at the truth table. So what we are doing here, that is also important to understand, because this will be utilized in the next lecture. What we are doing here, we are trying to segregate the truth table into parts in such a way that we can utilize the MSB of a particular function word. Here it is only 2-bit function. We are trying to utilize the largest bits here as the select pin, and one of the bit or the LSB, we are representing the function, output function, in terms of this LSB. That is what we are trying to do. We are trying to represent the output function in terms of this LSB. So in this case, in the OR gate, you see when x is 0, f is equals to y. In these two cases, f is equals to y, and when x is 1, f is 1 no matter what y is. That means what you have to pass to I0 and I1? You have to pass y to I0 and 1 to I1. Similarly, you can analyze for the NAND gate and the NOR gate, XOR gate, XOR gate and XNOR gate. So these circuits are given here. The circuits are given here. You can analyze them using the truth table, whether these circuits are behaving properly or not, behaving as NOR gate or XOR gate, XNOR gate, like that. You can analyze that for yourself. Now NOT gate also, one has given here the what is the NOT gate, and you can see very simply that when y is 0, you should have output as 1. So 1 should come out. When y is 0, y is 1, 0 should come out. So that is a NOT gate function. So that NOT gate is appearing here, and it is in combination with another gate here, another mux here, and ultimately this particular combination is going to give rise to the XNOR truth table. That truth table I urge you to verify yourself. So with that, I come to the conclusion of this lecture, and thank you for your attention.